And tonight on The Edge, more uncertain times for some Stellantis workers. According to the UAW, nearly 200 Sterling Heights workers could be out of a job by the weekend.
Fox News' Dave Kinchin has more on the next round of layoffs.
There are two big actions taking place by Stellantis. One impacts seasonal temp workers. The parent of the Chrysler and Jeep brands says it will terminate nearly 200 workers at Sterling Heights Assembly this weekend. Most of them brought in to cover increased vacation usage during the summer. Stellantis says the second action involves a full execution of UAW worker layoffs, quote, across its footprint. The automaker says it's doing this to protect the company from major uncertainty in the market while still building cars people can afford. That's the move many in the auto industry find alarming.
What they have done, Dave, with that statement is that they have completely paralyzed the company by fear. When you talk about indefinite layoffs, ongoing assessments of manufacturing processes and footprints, this means that Stellantis is on a tear. This is a very aggressive action. Stellantis previously announced the end of a key shift at Warren Truck, cutting nearly 2,500 jobs there. Now there's the threat of a possible strike. Jan Griffiths is a former auto supply chain executive. The UAW filed with the NLRB and requested information about Stellantis' plans regarding the product commitments it made in the UAW's 2023 collective bargaining agreement. So we need plans, we need transparency so that we can get our arms around this, deal with it, and move forward. So how is Stellantis responding to the UAW's claims that they're not working with them and honoring that deal that was reached last year? Well, Stellantis says we are honoring those agreements, those commitments, and we will essentially continue conversations, and we'll certainly keep you all updated and follow every late development. In Sterling Heights, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
If you're in an evacuation area, we want you to leave.
This is a very strong, very serious storm, and the storm surge is really something we haven't seen in this area forever.
Safety officials and leaders in Florida are sounding the alarm as Tropical Storm Helene inches closer. It's expected to grow into a dangerous hurricane, bringing life-threatening storm surge, damaging winds, and heavy rain. Right now, Helene is moving over the Caribbean, expected to hit Florida on Thursday night.
And back here at home, we could see a little bit of rain tomorrow, and that's probably about it, and that's good.
Nothing to complain about. We have nothing to complain about here. Weather Authority Rich Luderman, fall is amongst us. It's coming. It's
just
here.
A little bit. You can see this low pressure area is spinning over us right now. So as it pulls away from the region tomorrow, still a slight chance for a spotty shower Wednesday. But then Thursday and Friday are going to be dry days for us. Notice the showers that were up over St. Clair County have eased off to the east. So still a couple of hit or miss showers from St. Clair County north into the thumb, but most of us are going to be dry for the rest of tonight. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Helene. Still a tropical storm. Top winds 60 miles per hour. It is approaching the Yucatan Channel here. It's that piece of water that connects, between Cuba and the Yucatan, and it's going to be moving up into the Florida Panhandle. Sometime Thursday evening, this could be a Category 3 hurricane by the time it makes landfall. That is bad for Florida. 72 and 61, your official high and low here. Still above average. There's your rainfall total at the airport, a little less than 1/10 of an inch. But some of us this evening did have some heavy downpours. They were brief, but they were heavy. 64 Ann Arbor, 67 Pontiac, 68 degrees up in Port Huron. Not a whole lot of wind out there. A light flow from the south and southeast. Check these numbers. 63 in Pellston, 64 in Muskegon, 67 down in Toledo. A little bit cooler up there in London, Ontario at 64 degrees. So there's our low pressure area. It's pretty close to Saginaw right now, and then watch as it eases up into eastern Canada, gets replaced by high pressure, and that's why we have dry weather for most of Wednesday. For Thursday and Friday, we are looking nice and dry. You'll see that reflected in the forecast. So any showers out there will be ending quickly. We're down to 62. Still kind of muggy out there with dew points elevated. Now, tomorrow's not a bad day, really. More clouds than sun, 75 for high. Just a slight chance for a stray shower. And then look at Thursday and Friday, looking good, 76s. Shower chances for the weekend, depending on what happens with Tropical Storm Helene. We'll be watching that and give you a full check at 4 a.m. Taryn, back to you.
Thanks, Rich. Also tonight, a tragic update to a story we've been following this month. An elderly German tourist who was attacked while visiting our downtown during a cruise stop has died. According to investigators, 30-year-old Lawrence Gilchrist assaulted the 81-year-old man in the CompuWare building on September 7th. Police called it an unprovoked attack. The victim suffered critical brain injuries when his head hit the floor. Gilchrist is now being charged with second-degree murder.
Another step towards justice in another tragic death in Detroit. Today, a Romulus man was found guilty of causing a crash that critically hurt Eastern Market CEO Dan Carmody and killed his wife, Vivian. The couple was walking in the area of East Lafayette and St. Aubin in August of last year when police say Jacob Muralik suffered a drug overdose behind the wheel. The Carmodys were struck on the sidewalk. The trial lasted 4 days. Muralik, who was revived by Narcan at the time of the incident, was found guilty on all 4 charges. He'll be sentenced next month.
University of Michigan students are asking for more protection after 2 Jewish students say they were assaulted in a racially motivated attack.
Fox 2's Dave Spencer spoke with Ann Arbor police and faith leaders about what's being done about it.
For the second time in just 2 weeks, reports on the campus of the University of Michigan of Jewish students being attacked.
No Jewish student should have to deal with this alone, and they don't. We are here for them. We have a big team at Hillel to support them, and there's a whole lot of students that are here for them to connect with.
Rabbi Davey Rosen is the head of the campus Hillel Center, which provides a space for Jewish students to celebrate their faith.
We have over 6,500 Jewish students on our campus. Undergraduates, it's about 15% Jewish.
The rabbi met with the president of the University of Michigan to discuss the rise in anti-Semitism on campus.
He gets it deeply, and all the more so in this moment, since there has been an attack. It can't continue, and they are taking it as seriously as someone can take it.
The latest incident occurring this weekend outside of a Jewish frat house on East University Avenue. One student says he was assaulted. There was also a report of someone throwing bottles at the house.
There are some students that have a way of just putting it out of their minds. There are students who are scared, students who are concerned. There are parents who are scared and concerned, rightfully so.
Back on September 15th, police say a 19-year-old student was walking on Hill Street in South Forest when he says he was approached by a group of men who asked him if he was Jewish and then attacked him. He is expected to be okay after the assault.
It's really a difficult moment when a student who is Jewish has to be concerned about just being who they are.
Ann Arbor police are working hand in hand with campus police, trying to keep the peace and find the responsible parties.
They are determined first to figure out what has been going on and to not let this happen again.
In the meantime, Rabbi Rosen says he's encouraging all students to take precautionary measures.
We make sure people have walking buddies. We offer Uber codes. We make sure students know that the university itself has a lot of resources. And sometimes people think, I don't know, use the resources. There's Safe Ride. You can get a ride all night long.
Ann Arbor police right now aren't saying if there's any motive associated with the most recent attacks. However, they are increasing patrols in the area. In Ann Arbor, Dave Spencer, on the Edge.
A Taylor doctor now behind bars following a massive raid at his clinic today.
The doctor, now being compared to a drug dealer, is accused of overprescribing pain meds to thousands of patients who did not need them.
I'm shocked.
Are you shocked?
Why? Because I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. That's your message?
The 78-year-old neurologist's clinic and 20,000 square foot mansion in West Bloomfield were both raided. He's the second doctor in Michigan to be arrested for prescribing pills like hydrocodone and ketamine. Police say, unfortunately, some of those pills contributed to overdoses.
He has been, from what we've observed, falsifying patient files, medical billing records, billing for tests and exams that were never actually even given in the first place.
Nearly on a daily basis, we're out on overdose. We've had over 50 cases this year and overdose deaths. We've had enough.
Today's raids were the result of a 4-year investigation. The clinic has been shut down by police until further notice.
What we do know is that this was a very sick individual, a monster.
40-year-old Omar Ajas, a Rochester Hills doctor, now facing 2 class action lawsuits. The suits accuse him of assault and secretly recording patients, including children. He was charged with 10 felony crimes last month. Investigators say there are potentially thousands of victims. The new lawsuit also includes a complaint against 3 Metro Detroit hospitals that he worked for.
either on his person or planted various recording devices and took videos or photos of hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals when they were naked, disrobing, or using restrooms. The hospitals, whether they directly employ or just grant privileges to this physician, have an obligation to their patients to provide safe, secure, and private medical care and treatment to these patients.
Suspect remains in jail on a $2 million bond. A Detroit mailboat crew making a daring delivery.
They rescued a man from the Detroit River last night. One deckhand says they pulled him to safety just in the nick of time as a freighter was bearing down on his position.
We headed upriver, and right around 11 p.m. we saw a gentleman floating down the river. He was attempting to swim across. This gentleman had on blue jeans and a sweater jacket or a hoodie. He was sitting on a life ring, a circle life ring, and he was floating in that. We were able to use this shepherd's hook, and we could reach it down into the water. We were able to pull him into the vessel. It was very difficult to pull him into the vessel. We just started with his arms and worked our way to his armpits, and eventually I was able to grab him by his waistband and pull him over the edge fully.
The captain says the J.W. Westcott has been rescuing people from the Detroit River since the late 1800s. Guess what? Fresh donuts, 24/7, 365 days a year.
That might seem like a dream, but one local hotspot is about as close as you can get to making it a reality. You can go pick up a sweet treat from Dutch Girl Donuts on Woodward right now. The shop is now open 24 hours every day except Monday. Workers are trying to keep up with extra orders on their plate, and customers are happy to grab a late night or early morning bite.
We've had lines wrapped out the door all day, so it's been super busy, so hopefully it just stay busy.
And it gives you any time of the day, no matter if you're getting off of work, going to work, to come, and the availability is awesome.
The donut shop recently reopened after shutting down in 2021. It originally opened in the 1940s. We're told customers still share stories about how their grandparents used to bring a batch of donuts home. I'm telling you, as soon as I said you can go right now to get donuts, 4 people in the studio legit thought about walking out of here on the job just to go get the donuts.
To go get the donuts. Hey, we all work any hour of the day, so it's good that those donuts are available.
Rich Luderman's excited.
Donuts, he keeps saying.
He said.
Fresh donuts.
There he is.